I've come to the conclusion. It's just me and you, innit? Without the rug munching.
Have you seen
It's hard being a parent with mental health. It's awful because there's no support.
Don't give a damn what the haters say. Don't give a damn what the haters say.
So I'm here today with Shan and Sam. They're going to be talking about mental health and their struggles around mental health, being both women and mothers.
I have OCD. I have anxiety, severe depression. I have bipolar disorder, and I have EUPD, which is emotionally unstable personality disorder.
So I have bipolar, I have depression, anxiety, body dysmorphia, emotionally unstable personality disorder, and PTSD, complex PTSD.
So what would you say is your biggest struggle that you go through?
I think Sam can relate in some ways. When you're a mother and your mood cycle so rapidly, and yet you still have to get up and function.
Yeah.
You have to fight that from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep, and it doesn't just last a few hours; it lasts days, and it's exhausting.
And sometimes there's no shutdown, even sleep. There's no escape.
Oh yeah, insomnia, it's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you can go days without sleep. Like normal parents, not saying normal, but you know what I mean. Average parents that don't suffer with all these multiple conditions, they don't have the paranoia or the hearing things at times, seeing things.
Horrendous.
I've sat and had chats in the middle of the night. You do, yeah. Oh God, when I was pregnant, it was really bad. I literally could hear minions talking to me.
When she said it to me, I laughed.
I
thought, because at the time, her eldest and Eden, they were very much into minions, so they had all these toys. And I said, "Are you sure it's not?"
No.
She was like, "No." She's like, "Chanel, no." She was sitting.
It freaked me out so much. But that's the problem of being a parent as well. We have to pretend to the kids that we're okay, And when we're having bad days, it's the guilt.
Yeah.
Because like an average parent,
I think you get mum guilt anyway as a parent. A parent guilt, should say. Mum guilt, dad guilt. It doesn't, But when you have your mental health on top of that, it's very...
We're not like other parents, are we? We can't just to say, right, we're going to go to Alton Towers tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow some days we can't even get out of bed. Or there's days you can't even... And it's the stigma. The stigma is the worst.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're known as bipolar...
Yeah, they just think you're completely... Well, I mean, we are Delulu, but I mean, they do think...
I'd rather be Delulu and have a bit of... But the one thing that really irritates me is my bipolar is a part of me.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
You are.
It gives you our extra quirks, it gives us our good bits, our bad bits, but also because we battle the darkness every single day, I'm not scared of the dark anymore.
No.
I'm scared of the light, because the light is what you do have to do, like the people. The reality, The dark don't scare me. You see that?
The darkness is the unknown, and the unknown is scary, but when you have to face things head on, especially when you're in that mindset of being in that mental health crisis, shall we say,
there's no help either.
It's daunting, it's scary, and that spirals you again. Because then you're like, I don't want to face this. Let me just go back to being manic or.
And the medication as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't even talk to me about the medication.
How tired it makes you.
It makes you like a zombie, literally. I'd rather be the way I am daily than to take that, because literally you will take it, you will sleep for hours and hours and hours, and if you
can't do that as kids.
You can't do that. Like it's a big thing. Medication is a big thing. If you have the luxury to be able to do that, and you have a partner that can take on your children whilst you sleep off your episodes or whatever, you're fine. But when you haven't got that luxury of having someone there that can do that, because it's literally it's like a heavy sedative, and you're just walking around like you feel nothing. I mean, it's great when you really are up there.
It blocks your emotions,
because it does. It's everything goes quiet. But the physical aspect of it, you're walking around like a zombie. Like you can't function. You can't even do the housework. You can't even make a cup of tea. It's literally comatose in you. And sometimes it gets to a point where if you're constantly taking it, you then have to go up a dose, and then it makes you worse, and then up until the point it's like there's nowhere else I can go with it. And then it's like, well, then what's the point? I'm
weight gain as well.
Weight
gain. honestly, my psychiatrist said to me, you either be large and sane or slim and crazy.
There's
no middle ground.
Yeah.
But I do like when it numbs us.
Yeah, that feeling, because it literally it's like all of a sudden
you have no emotion.
Someone just goes like pushes a button and everything in your head, like it just goes quiet, like the most quiet. It's like so serene. That feeling of that, if we could have that without the side effects that it has on your body physically, it'd be perfect. But obviously nothing in this world is perfect. No medication is perfect for mental health. You know, like I was watching.
It's the lack of support on the system as well. As a parent of bipolar, and I'm, you know, you've seen me do with the court systems, social services, and everything with everything I went through with the boys' dad, and I'm still battling them, and they just expect you. Bipolar. Once you're known as bipolar, the stigma is you're a mother with bipolar. That makes you very, and EUPDs, very selfish. You can't take care of someone else,
selfish people,
and you have to fight to prove yourself.
Yeah.
Even on your struggling days, it's constantly poked, prodded. I've been poked and prodded for 2.5 years. Yeah. I've seen more psychiatrists in 2.5 years than I've seen. Yeah. It's horrible. It's judgmental. And it's, are you stable? Nice.
Yeah. How you feel?
What? Because I'm having an emotional day. No, you try and be stable.
It's like being patronised. Mm-hmm. It's like, what, am I not allowed to have be tearful? I'm on my period, babes. There's nothing to do with my bipolar. I do think as well, the mental health team, no matter where you are in the UK, I can't speak around the world, but they're very quick to throw bipolar at people when they're not bipolar. And I think that's a really bad thing to do, because it's like you are treating someone that has something completely different and you're wondering why they're not getting better. That doesn't make sense.
The one thing I always say is, if you have that condition, is if the med helps.
Yeah.
I always say this tonight. Yeah. If you have something like bipolar and you're on the medication we take and you notice the difference in your mental health,
you know that
it's working. So that it just confirms what your problem is. Yeah. But obviously, having bipolar, it was passed on to me.
Yeah.
And my granddad committed suicide through it. So that is why I'm so vocal. Because I never want anyone to suffer with bipolar disorder. And this is the one thing we're very vocal with the kids about how we're feeling.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Because it's important.
Although I wasn't always vocal with Eden. I did keep a lot of it hidden until I think I just got to the point I thought I had to weigh it up in the fact of, she's going to grow up with her mum that's like this, and if I sugarcoat it for her, she's never going to fully understand why I am the way I am and why I have my days that I have. So in the end, I just sat her down and explained it in the most kid-friendly way I could. I was just like, mum's brain doesn't work the way some other people's brain works. And I said, you know what, it just means that sometimes my brain gets a little bit sad. And obviously back then, she's 9 now, but back then she was only 4 or 5. So I had to explain it in a way that she could understand that, mummy's brain does get sad and sometimes it gets really, really happy. I said, but you just need to know that even when my brain is feeling that way, I don't love you any less. I will always love you. And that
so I grew up confused because my mum was all over the place.
I would not let Eden grow up thinking like it's her fault that I am the way I am, and I always tell her, listen, no matter what you are feeling, or if you think you're having like some big emotions inside and you see mummy sad, please don't keep that in. It doesn't matter if I'm feeling sad or if I'm feeling up on cloud 9. You have to tell me, you have to talk to me, because it's okay. It's okay if mummy's feeling that way, and it's okay if you're feeling that way. And you know what we do? We help each other. And now she comes up to me and she will, not often, but when she is having big emotions, she will come up and she's like, Mum, I really need you right now. And I think that's so important to be brought up in a house.
My house is fully over mental
health is normal. Yeah. That's what it needs to be normalised to these children out here.
We're very neurodiverse with all our kids anyways.
It's got to be normalised.
I think that's really good, and I think that's a really important thing.
We always say I would love a normal life.
Yeah.
You say this all the time, and we're like, but what is a normal life? And I say, I just want the simple things. We appreciate the simple things because we don't get a lot of the simple things.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I appreciate my deep heat foam baths, or I appreciate, you know, my fresh bedding, or and it's just the little things, you know, and you take for granted when you live a normal life.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously I suffer with chronic pain, so and your mobility gets restricted, mine does, and it's hard being a parent with mental health. It's awful because there's no support. So I've had days where, well, apart from you, Phil.
I was going to say, cheeky girl.
You're part of the furniture. But what I'm saying is that you've seen days where I'm physically convulsing. I can't walk with my condition, and my mental health has deteriorated so bad because I feel so ashamed of my health, and I'm physically trying to crawl across the floor to take care of the boys.
Yeah.
And when I ask them for help, well, it's not our problem. When I've asked support, and it's like, look at the new year, to have a break after 11 months because my mental health was deteriorating and I've got no support. It cost me 220 quid for someone to come in and watch my child, my children, my send children. Now, that money doesn't come from fresh air.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like just to be desperate to have time alone. You know, it's a lot. It is a lot. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't change my journey because it's made me who I am. But also, I will not be ashamed of it, and I will not. I'm very vocal, and I think that is the only way to be because there's nothing worse than hiding it.
I don't hide it. I just don't voice it. If someone asks me, I openly tell them. That's another thing. Boundaries is a big thing.
Oh yes, with mental health, you've got to have boundaries.
This is the thing. This is where vulnerability comes in with mental health. Because when the boundaries ain't put in place, because we don't know how to, or okay, so
because we get embarrassed, don't we?
But it's not just that. It's with like a personality disorder. Boundaries, you're not taught that. You're not taught to put as you're growing up. Because personality disorder stems from trauma as a child. It's not something that you inherited. It is based. It's given to you through trauma. So whether you have that trauma from when you're a child or an adolescent or a young adult, it is a trauma-based.
You're not taught how to manage your emotions growing up.
Yeah. So if you don't know how to put boundaries in place and you're not taught that as a child,
it took me 35 years
through all the way through.
But look at me. I've only just started doing it the past year and a half.
I see. That's one thing with me. I learnt that very quickly, and my boundaries were quick. I'm not saying I'm perfect with my boundaries because I do let people push them.
Yeah.
But compared to her, on my boundaries, I was listen. Once you overstep, see the thing is, she will forgive and forgive.
Yeah, but I think a lot of time. Have you noticed we're both very empathic, though?
Yeah.
We feel what other people are feeling.
Yeah, feed off that. I think that's why we get over.
We do, and I think this is why we attract the wrong type of men today because we're walking around like vulnerability. They see you coming.
They do. They smell it.
And we feel we just want to be loved for us.
Yeah.
But I think when you have mental health, you're constantly questioning.
Yes.
If we're worthy enough to be loved.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of
reassurance. It takes a lot of reassurance, a lot of patience.
We're not easy, but also we're the most loving people.
We'll give you the the shirt off our back. Literally. But when you have it's the reassurance side, like. Because like Sam said, like you sit there and you question, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Am I loving them enough? Am I doing the laundry? And it just and then it festers and it snowballs again. That's the thing with mental health. Once something snowballs in your head, it triggers all the rest of your mental health, and it's like, damn it.
And then date the wrong kind of worst person to stick on top, and they just heighten it, and that will make it 10 times worse.
Yeah, because they play on it big time.
A lot of time, if they see this vulnerability in it, it's
cool.
Do you think that's where yours worsened, Sam, then?
Yeah. I think because I was quite a mess growing up, because I was undiagnosed, I had a really traumatic childhood. My mum and me don't have the greatest relationship, and I saw a lot of stuff a child should never see. I had to raise a child from being a child. I think I was always my mum always used to say to me, you're not like us, you're too soft, you're too sensitive, you're too overkill. And I always used to get so upset about it. And then I think it bottled over the years, didn't it, with me? And then when I got to about 17, I think my mental health was getting worse and worse. And I used to hear voices as a kid and all the whispers, you know, and I used to think, what the hell is this about? But obviously I was a child. I didn't know. My mum's not a very approachable person. She's pretty much go first, think later sort of. And she wasn't really around. So it was hard we didn't know about mental health back in them days. You either was with it or weren't. And for years, I've battled between, you know, my ex-partner abusing me, my mum constantly abusing me. And then I was like, well, do I deserve this? Like, is this... And because I'm bipolar and EUPD, and then
It's a lot.
you think you deserve it.
Yeah.
You think, is this what I'm entitled to? But I'm not...
But I think we know deep down that's not the case. I think it's just because we, on a surface level, that's what we think. But deep down we know
what we're told.
But with narcissists as well, though, when you're in that situation, now I'm fortunate enough not to have been in the situation myself, but I'm also educated enough to know that whenever anyone is in a situation of being with a narcissist, it's not because they went into it going, oh, I like this. Oh, you're a narcissist.
He was nothing like that when we met. Nothing
Exactly.
like it.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of over time, and with a narcissist, they genuinely believe that their way of behaving is okay. They believe it in their head. It is normal. It is
It's
rational.
always hard by dumb lies.
It's rationalised in their head. They can rationalise every single action, every single word.
They twist your mental health as well.
So
It used to
over
always be
time,
my fault.
Yeah.
My fault for you cheating, stealing, losing your temper. It was always my fault. My bipolar was the reason for it, and it would be flipped.
Yeah.
And then I'd sit there questioning my own. It's bad enough you fight your own sanity most days at the best of
And
times,
then
but
when
the
someone
person
else
you
is
think
doing
you
that,
love and
putting that on
trust,
top of you as well, it's
and do you know what? The one thing I can say was the best thing I ever did was that hypnosis therapy last year. I did a PTSD therapy. It's for trauma and PTSD, and it saved my life.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in hypnosis. I think it's a load of... We've done more therapies than life. None of them work. But it saved my life. Because she... Honestly, in it, Shan, the difference it's made.
Yeah. It's definitely helped her.
I think, but I think, you know, one thing I've learned to use what we battle to help someone else.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll help anyone.
You put that forward. But the thing is, you can help someone, but, you know...
They've got to want to help themselves.
100%. 100%.
I agree. So where do you guys hope to be in the future? Say 10 years from now, where do you hope to see yourself?
Stable.
Okay, no, think again. Realistically.
I know, I was joking. God.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Realistically.
I've never been stable to begin with.
So say ideal, not...
Free.
What do you think?
I think free for me. I think my freedom is not me and the kids recovering from our trauma of years of abuse, and the freedom to not feel like I'm constantly watching over my shoulder and having to justify having bipolar with the court systems and everything that I'm made to believe I am, but also I want to help someone else. Turn my pain into power.
Yeah.
And I want to go and help young girls and teach them what red flags are, because those red flags are not something you should ever ignore. And your mental health shouldn't ever be the only thing that holds you back, even on your worst days.
It doesn't define you.
It doesn't define you. If anything, it's part of who we are. And I'm proud of who I am.
Damn right.
Damn straight, we might be a bit crazy.
What about you, Chanel?
I'm not crazy, I'm just a little bit fruity. I would just say happy. Like literally.
Peace.
Yeah, just peace. Just be at peace with life, with myself, with my life, and just peace with the world. Like, come on, man. Like, I can't. I'm tired of waking up and stressing about the littlest things. You know, I just want to wake up one day and just like, do you know what? Nope, I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to put pressure on myself, pressure on my daughter, pressure on my friends, my family. No more.
I think
Just
the
wake up,
peace
just
within,
peace.
innit?
Yeah.
I think that's the one
Once
thing
you
we fight
achieve
for.
that inner peace,
Yeah.
it unlocks a whole different world. It
Well,
really
I'm still
does.
trying to find it, girl. Boundaries.
My door's almost there. think we're just not quite there, and I think it's still going to take a very long time to get that lock fully unlocked.
Also, I don't think we're ever going to be fully recovered. I think we're, you know, life is a journey, and I'm a big believer that our journey's the yellow brick road.
It never stops. But do you know what? It don't matter whether you have mental health or not. Life is a journey, and it's a journey you have to embrace, because you know, with the good and the bad.
Mistakes as well.
Because you know what? That's the only way we learn. But
I don't regret nothing I've done, nothing, because it made me a part of who I am. Even the bad bits, the good bits, the unstable bits.
Oh, actually, there is a few things I do regret, but I think that's more men.
I call it a mental health flowchart, my taste in men.
Oh no.
It's been a scattered
Mine
scenario.
Mine flowchart, mate. Mine's a fucking stargazer up there. Fucking yeah, we're going dot to dot. Yeah, no, I think inner peace.
Stable.
I think
a stable, healthy relationship one day.
But again, stable where?
Well,
because no, hold on, no, because even if you meet a man that's fucking normal, you're not fucking stable.
Well, you're fucking. Well, one of us has got to be in it. I know people don't like it, so I say even more.
It reminds me why it's hurt. And then she's like, can't this, can't
but
that.
I think it also helps because we have the same mental health conditions. We can understand each other.
Yeah, that's another thing with mental health.
We attract.
Hold on. Do you know what
friends
pisses me
with
off?
the same.
You know when you sit there, and you go to the GP and they're like, "Don't worry, I understand how you." No, bitch, no, you fucking don't.
You don't understand shit.
Listen, right? The way I see it, mental health, it's a fucking very big fucking word to put out there, right? It covers so many different aspects of it, okay? Yes, you might, like, say for example, you're a professional, you're a doctor, yes, you might have had bouts of depression, so that side you could kind of get that.
When you're sitting talking to the devil at 3 a.m, innit, staring at you in your hallway.
You've come out of that depression, you're working, you're doing fine, so really, you only understand a fraction, not even a fraction, like a decimal point of what.
The system's so judgmental as well on us, because if you have a good day or you wear makeup or if you're having, you're absolutely fine. You
However,
know,
that is a mask.
That's a mask. That's my mask. That's what I use because I wasn't allowed to wear makeup for years.
It's a mask.
So now we're robots. We are. We sometimes I get up and I'm not even there.
Like in like the 1800s or like back in like 1920s, whatever, I used to get sent to for the
electric shock.
Listen, you could be walking down the road, right, reeling off your shopping list in your head, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you fucking nuts. Let's send you there, get you." But now it's like.
I think the lack of care, though, as
well.
The
mask. That's when the mask was set, because it's like, you know, you don't want to be caught out having like.
Well, we've got key workers. Where's our key workers, girl?
I don't know.
She's meant to come in and help us with our mental paperwork and mental management. We don't see them.
Yeah.
Mine, I don't think I've ever met her physically.
No.
No. Oh. The last one I cussed out. She tried to make out that she was calling me every week. I didn't even know if I could have flipped went and, you know, someone.
Today, something needs to be done about the mental. Listen, considering we're in what? We're in like fucking a Western country. The mental health here in
the care is disgusting and the staff are horrendous.
Yeah.
When you call them, if you're having a crisis, when I was pregnant with Danny and I was having psychosis, do you remember? Because it can get worse when you're pregnant.
Yeah, postpartum.
And I called her up and I said, I feel like I don't want to do this, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm really struggling because of the way I lost my granddad. I always swore. And the woman went, you need to think of your child and get yourself together. Well, could you imagine? That would have been the tipping of the cherry, because I was hearing Minions, I was flipping... You know, we see things as well. I mean, I sit regularly, when we're really struggling, you see things sitting at the bottom of your bed. I see things standing my way and have conversations.
Yeah, I see people.
We have conversations all the time, but to us, when we tell each other, that's normal.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's what we battle every day. But because we wear makeup, that makes us...
If we were to go outside and say that to someone at the bus stop, they think we're actually off our nuts.
But that's normal to us.
Do you know what I mean? And I genuinely, do you know what I'm you see people, you know, the psychics and that, and they say they talk to the dead. Listen, I sit on the fence with that, right?
However, I
do think that they crackers.
No, but they say No, but I think when you've got mental health, you know, we're bipolar especially, we're very open to the other side.
Listen, the other side, listen, I don't know who's calling me. It must
You
be
get little girls sitting at the bottom of your bed. I get creepy old men in capes
Don't
of mine.
Listen, I think...
The things you see as a bipolar sufferer sometimes, this is when you know you're relapsing as well.
See movies, yeah? I can watch horror movies, right? As long as they ain't got kids in.
Yeah, she can't stand. She has little girls sitting at the bottom of her bed talking to her. But I do. I can have conversations. I had a man in my hallway a couple of weeks back. I said to him, listen mate, I fight the devil for the past 12 years.
The Victorian lady.
I dealt with an arc, you can go.
I was like, that's what, I think it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, but it was dark. And I'm standing waiting for the bus, and there's, look, I shit you not, this lady, she walked up to the door, looked at me, turned around and carried on walking straight through the door. Doggy absolutely smells. Smelly bastard.
Well, it ain't me.
Dog.
Roll. I'll wash my fish slaps.
Fuck off! You fucking disgusting. Fuck off, you fucking freak.
Who else would you love to talk to you for the next lifetime?
No, fucking not you. Swear to God, when God says, who do you want to come here? I'll be like, do you want to up here or don't? I'll be like,
he ain't gonna send me up there. You've got no chance. He's not even gonna give me a judgment day.
Hang on, sorry, why would you get to make the choice? Do you want her up there or down there?
He ain't even gonna let her up there, let alone me.
Oh God, remember that? Oh God.
Oh right, yeah.
You might as God want to pick your tasting men better then.
So shit, at least mine's got.
So, lastly, if anyone was in your position or in your position that you were in, what advice would you give them?
Appreciate your village. Because you know what? When you ain't got one.
Speak out.
And never, ever be ashamed of who you are. Because it's a part of who you are. I'm not ashamed to be, but I'm proud of who I am.
Yeah, be proud. It's part of you. It's part of who you are.
It's part of our personalities in us. Like, I wouldn't want to change that.
I definitely. And
also, never let anyone make you feel just because you have mental health.
But you're not worthy of nothing.
Because you're worth more.
100%.
Because we love more. We're paying up the butts.
Yeah, we give more.
We do.
My biggest saying is, it's okay not to be okay. And that is one of my biggest things. I say that all the time. I say it all to when I was training with the kids, like, and all the teenagers. I used to say it's alright to feel the way you feel, and it's okay, you know. But just don't stay in that bottomless pit, because if you stay there, it will consume you. You've got to keep fighting.
You can be down for a day or two, but then you've got to remember why you got to keep
going. As my nanny Gloria used to say, pick your big girl panties up and keep walking, because you got this.
Put your Bridget Joneses on and rock it, girl.
Oh yeah.
When you have bipolar and multiple issues, your kids really are what gets up. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without my kids.
Yeah, they're your biggest protection. My
focus, because I want them to grow up and never. So does every single part of everyone should matter. No one should ever feel.
You matter, definitely.
But also, never let the stigma get to you. That's the one thing I learned. Proven wrong.
And don't believe the rumours.
Yeah, that's it.
Peace.
So I'm now back from seeing Chanel and Sam, and I had such a good day. I just didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to be so fun. I did not stop laughing. I didn't expect, knowing that we're going to speak about a lot of deep things, for there to be so much laughter. And it was just so fantastic, and they were so lovely and made me feel really, really welcome. I think the main thing I've learned is that so many people with bipolar face the most disgusting judgment based on this diagnosis and a lack of education and lack of information. How many times have we sat back and said, oh my God, no, yeah, they've got bipolar. No, you see them, they're schizophrenic. Oh yeah, but that person, yeah, they've got... But how many times have we actually gone and done the real research? Or have we just met one person with that diagnosis? Or have we read a comment online, heard a rumour about a person and assumed that that's what everyone's like, down to an illness? I just feel it was heartbreaking listening to their stories. I did hear some off camera as well. And no human should have to go through it. No one. Yeah, this is why rumour has it exists now. Because there's so many people out there quick to judge. There's so many people out there with all these diagnoses and with all these different walks of lives, but very little information and very, very little help. It's shocking the amount of people that are diagnosed or go misdiagnosed, undiagnosed. It's so sad, and the struggles that they go through is crazy to me. I just can't help but think, whether they've got the help or not, does that help the judgment? Absolutely not. After filming today's episode, I myself can clearly say I knew nothing about bipolar. I have a friend or two with it, but I've never said, so what is it? What do you go through? And as a friend, to be honest, I am shocked in myself and I'm ashamed. And so I fucking should be. The stuff that my friends clearly go through is absolutely mind-boggling to me, that they can manage to just come out the front door and put a smile on it and probably pretend to be okay. It's hearing what they've gone through and what they go through on a daily basis really has opened my eyes to just how bad it can get, but just how much of a brave face they can put on and pretend. Being bipolar makes the world a lot more scary. It makes things a lot more difficult. But does it make the person a bad person? Absolutely not. Bad people? I think not. The system that helps them? Well, anyway, I'm Vanessa. This is Rumour Has It, and I'll see you next time.
Damn what the haters say. I don't give a damn what the haters say.